want to use modular construction and then also intelligent design to create an alternative product, specifically something that's more affordable.
The art of the elevator pitch has been lost, and we're here to bring it back. After 5 years and 3,000 pitches, we've developed a simple formula that anyone can build from. Who are you? What is your company? What problem do you solve? How do you solve it? Who's going to pay you money? What do you need? Nail that in 30 seconds and you're on your way. How will today's entrepreneur do? Pitch practice is now in session.
Hello, I'm Fletcher, and I want to work on modular housing in the residential market. So currently the housing market is very disaligned with customer interest. That's primarily because developers are incentivized to maximize square foot profits on all their development. And what that ends up doing is it creates an imbalanced housing stock with a big skew towards like the higher price point rental or purchasable units. And so we want to use modular construction and then also intelligent design to create an alternative product, specifically something that's more affordable. The reason we want to do that is because in order to have like a healthy cityscape and healthy communities, you have to have mixed use housing and mixed like price point housing. So we're looking to connect with investors specifically in the Atlanta market who have existing rental units that fall into the R4 and R5 categories, where we could build an accessory dwelling unit for one of these products.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't know if you were done.
Just throw a thank you in the end, and we'll know you.
So I really wish they had stayed for that, because the guy who's sitting there, the bearded fellow, looks like Christian Bale. Yeah. He's the CTO for a company called New Story Charity. They 3D print houses.
Cool.
Yeah, that was the house that when Pitch Practice funded, they went through New Story.
Cool.
So they're all about some housing. So reach out to Walker and ask for them. You should get to know them.
Now, let's break down today's pitch.
All right, what is this young man's name? What is the name of his organization? Do you have one?
No.
That's fine. If you don't have it coming, it's just you don't need it. No big deal. What's the problem that Fletcher wants to solve?
Modular housing?
Okay, I heard that
No,
too.
he wanted to, because he said contractors want to get profit gains, so they're not focusing on the right things. And so, modular housing.
I heard bachelor pad.
No. Modular houses are houses like you put together yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's the problem?
A misalignment of people and people that are building houses.
Correct.
Yes. And what the people want and what people are building.
Correct.
Cool. Supply and demand mismatch. Excellent. How does he solve that problem?
With building modular houses.
Do you build modular houses?
That is the solution, or a solution to the problem.
Okay.
I thought you work with builders, or do you build, or do you work
No,
with...
so the company itself is like a modular housing company that would manufacture modular housing units.
Mm-hmm.
So that builders can make enough profit on a smaller house to build more of them.
Sure.
Demand.
Sure. So,
I mean, what's the end game? If everything goes perfectly your way, what's the end game look like?
So I think if the question you're asking me is, am I planning on like licensing this technology to existing builders to have them build it? I think that would be no. It's just creating a production company that produces these units and then deploys and builds them.
Okay. So what I heard you say was that you used the word misalignment. You said that the builders are incentivized to build larger, more profitable houses.
Sure.
So they build more of them.
Yep.
And there's too many, and not enough of the houses that Everyday Joe can.
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
So you're trying to change that alignment a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just changing the demographic of the like housing market or changing. Yeah.
Okay. I skipped a step. How long do you think you spoke?
45 seconds.
54.
54.
Okay. So nothing wrong with that. The 30 seconds is totally arbitrary. It's just a bar to measure yourself against, so that if somebody asks you out there, hey, what do you do? They're not looking at their watch 10 minutes later and going, okay, I've got it. So you want to keep it short and succinct, but you do want to get your point across. So there's no magic number. You just need to know how long you're talking. Okay, where were we? We were on, who's his customer? Who's going to pay him money?
I was subcontractors or development.
Home buyer.
Yes.
Development?
Who do you sell to? Who actually hands you the cash?
Investors. So
In each home?
Real estate investors, whether they be an individual with a single family home that wants to add an investment property, or an intentional investor who has multiple investment properties that wants to add rental stock to their portfolio.
The goal is that these homes are going to be rented out.
Yes. So there's a really inherent challenge with doing these accessory dwelling units or a secondary residence on a single lot, in that it's hard to subdivide that lot and allow for dual ownership of a lot. There are ways that you can get around that. So one of the things that is valuable in home ownership is that you get a physical asset that functions as like a financial product over time. And so you can achieve both of those goals, having a physical real estate asset and having a financial product, without having dual ownership of the same lot. So you could sell directly to individuals who want to be homeowners, but the main goal of this product or business is to solve the problem of there not being enough affordable housing units in urban areas.
Every state is actually trying to recently allow like a attached dwelling.
The reason this is so interesting is because they just changed the zoning law in January of this year to allow for these accessory dwelling units on R4 lots. So you have this huge potential market that opened up like 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago.
So you're saying if someone owned an acre and I just wanted to build a small, like 600 square foot modular home, I could then use it as a rental property on my own.
Exactly.
My own land.
Yeah. The potential housing stock doubled in these areas.
It's like a do-it-yourself infill.
Exactly. Yes. 100%.
So I can build my mom my own little house, and then
Correct.
she'll give me that.
Correct.
Are these modular houses are they like tiny homes?
Yes, so they're tinier than average. So in Atlanta, the zoning allows for up to 750 square foot to be built. The units, so I have a price at a unit like $75,000, and that unit would be approximately 500 square foot. But the goal is to have like an end product that someone can purchase for around $100,000. The reason we're initially trying to target investors is because it's a lot easier to get financing for new construction builds on investor properties as opposed to people living in or owner-occupied properties. But ultimately, this is a product that's like really accessible for any homeowner. And then also, another really interesting avenue is allowing individuals who would be tenants renting a property to act as, I think leasees is a good term, to finance these units. They can deploy them on a lot, and then they can essentially gain equity stake in a real estate asset instead of just spending money on rent. So it's a really interesting market. The construction industry is one that's kind of being disrupted right now. There's a competitor here in Atlanta. They're called Convert Architects. They've created the ATL ADU code. They've already got sales at the $150,000 price point for a similar product. And then there's two other companies that are really interesting. One is called Dwell. It's like a weird spelling of Dwell. And they've just raised a Series A at $14 million for a modular residential construction product. And there's also a company called Capterra that has, in their Series D, they raised $850 million for, they're targeting the commercial space, but for a disruptive real estate product. So they've raised $1.2 billion in overall funding since their inception, which was like somewhere after 2010. Yeah, so. Oh.
Right. So I'm still not clear. Forgive me.
Agreed.
On it's real estate investors. They've got a lot. They're going to buy your stuff and put it.
Correct.
Your customer is a real estate investor, developer.
A real estate investor. And so I specifically say real estate investor because what I'm creating, the product that I'm creating is a real estate asset that is an investment product.
Right.
So you intentionally buy this asset so that you can gain revenue over time. And so whether you're a homeowner who wants to add an investment property to your lot or you're specifically a real estate investor, this is the main customer of this product. There's also the back end where you're renting these units to individuals, and that's technically another customer.
Right. Okay, got it. Now, what did he ask? Introduction. So we want to be really, really specific about, because it took us a while to get around to real estate investors here. You want to meet real estate investors of a very specific flavor, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I would ask for that very specific thing. Anybody here know knows those kind of people? That's it. He does. So,
I'm a member of what's called Georgia Real Estate Investors Association. It's a very active group, and it's full of very interesting, idiosyncratic. Everybody's got their own business model, and there are a lot of opportunities for you to pitch. Cool.
So the more specific you ask, the more specific everybody else can go, oh, I don't know that, but he does.
What's the turnaround?
Yeah, you kind of want to eliminate everyone else. Go ahead.
So I think I can deploy a unit in 30 days, assuming you have a fixed foundation in sight. But I haven't built any, so I don't know exactly.
How can we help Fletcher get his pitch better? Sorry.
I would start by saying, one, you definitely need to like include some of your background in there, because after I'm hearing you answer these questions, you know what you're talking about. And I don't think it was clear initially. Like, you said a lot, but I think just getting really clear about like your product and who your customer is, because that wasn't exactly clear. And then I would also say, I probably wouldn't use like R4, R5. I got it just because of the context of what you're saying. I think to like the broader world, like if you're not in real estate zoning, it's like for the purposes of your 30 seconds, probably is irrelevant. So like I would say, get really clear on what your product is, which it sounds like now it's the unit itself, and then the problem for investors and why they need it, and then throw something in there about your background and why you know what you're talking about, because like it's really obvious you do, but it wasn't initially.
These are all single-family units?
Right.
Okay, so I would also stress that because we were talking about, it sounds like you want industry real estate developers, but when I think of developers, I think of high-rises, commercial and residential properties, and multi-unit. And what we were talking about is single-unit, single-family, modular homes that can be placed on any real estate.
Correct.
Right? So that's kind of a little bit more than
See, at first I thought it was more like to the Pultees, the large tract of land, and then they understand, like a Levittown model, but that's not.
So essentially, this is just a different way of designing houses or just designing real estate, and it's like a model that could be implemented anywhere. I think what I'm most interested in now is leveraging this current new availability in housing stock in the Atlanta market to create a product, and then to just have cash capital to then further solve this problem.
It's your beachhead market. It's the first market.
Exactly. Exactly.
Where
Yeah.
there's potential for other markets later.
Exactly. I mean, there are houses everywhere in the world. So.
I would maybe critique your pitch based on your audience. Like, so you touched on a lot of different parts, a lot technical, a lot informative, but in a room with, I guess, just see what's in your room and maybe apply it. So in this case, maybe make it more situational. Like, if you own a home, yes. Would you ever think about doing extra income? Yes. Like, kind of walk through the process, how it might benefit them. But if you're in a room with real estate agents, then you can tweak it maybe more technical, depending on whatever it is. So yeah,
Cool.
keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you so much. Well done.
Yeah.